Hey everyone, welcome to Behind the Bar, semicolon, was that in good taste? Semicolon, the episode where you learn so many things about new things that it's gonna blow your little tight little mind.
It'll blow your whole mind.
My name's been Chandler Phillips.
My name's always James Beery.
And today we're trying a very fun new whiskey coming out of New Zealand.
Ooh.
I don't think we've had any whiskeys from New Zealand before. We've tried a lot of different things from a lot of different places, but this one is from the opposite side of the globe, and I think that's pretty neat.
I love the opposite side of the opposite side of the globe.
It's kind of like as far away from us as you can get. What kind of whiskey are they working on right now?
I'm actually super curious. I love this. You just bought this. I haven't even looked at it. So
Actually, I didn't buy it. It was brought to us
An
by
old friend.
a friend of ours, Billy, and actually that was brought to him by his friend, Paul.
Paul.
Yeah. So the Paul lives in New Zealand and managed to get his hands on this, and then recently had a either he lives in New Zealand or he just visited. Anyway,
Paul doesn't live in New Zealand.
this was part of the whole like the duty free, or maybe not duty free, but you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And so we got it just free. I went over to Billy's house and he's like, "Hey, a friend of ours gave us this whiskey. You're a Scotch kind of kid." And I'm like, "Well, I've been known to hop the Scotch.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit." And so they saw I enjoyed it so much, so they said, "You know what? Just take the rest of the bottle. We're not much Scotch people anymore. That was an era, but we've moved past that era." And I
What are
said,
they now?
Now they're mostly either Sauv Blanc or gin.
Oh,
It's a gin era.
so they've been in that for a while since we've known them.
At least, yeah.
Yeah.
They've never really been too much in the tequila era. Whiskey's kind of hit or miss, but
Vodka's always a go.
vodka's easy peasy. Vodka's smooth fucking sledding. No, but this was
Smooth sledding.
this is the friend that turned me on to my personal favorite, like, summer campfire drink, which is a Dewar's and ginger ale, specifically a zero sugar ginger ale, because otherwise it's just a little too sweet. It keeps me up at night. It gives me a little too much acid reflux. But Dewar's specifically with ginger ale, one of my favorite drinks, and having tried this, I think it's reminiscent of a flavor that kind of condenses what a Dewar's and ginger does.
So this is the Thomson whiskey, New Zealand Limited, South Island Peat.
Yeah.
Single malt.
Mm-hmm.
Progress report.
Progress report.
That's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of information, but here's what it all means. So as we know, New Zealand is a country.
Oh,
At least last I checked. Thomson, not Thompson.
oh, you're right.
It's
Thomson.
Thomson. Is the distillery that opened up in I want to say South Island. I have their story all pulled. Oh, they opened in Auckland.
South Island.
Well, that's where the peat comes from. Because not all their whiskeys are peated, but they are kind of on the cutting edge of tinkering with smokes. Because the reason I want to make such emphasis that this was a gift was because if I were to see the lineup of whiskeys that they had some really interesting things that they were playing with. So the peat, contrary to most other peated whiskeys, isn't sourced from Scottish or Irish peat bogs, or it's from the South Island itself. And I just think
Where's the South Island?
So I was doing a little research on this before the mic. There are two islands that constitute two mainland islands. The top one, and then the South Island. They have several provinces or regions.
Oh, that's what you mean by South Island.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's kind of like how Michigan is two places
Yeah.
with like just a big old lake in between it. Just like, oh, excuse me, I'm just Lake Michigan spreading out here, and it just split the state in two. That's kind of how the Pacific Ocean treated all of New Zealand.
And how did the Pacific Ocean sound when it did this?
Did someone order a big old body of salt water? So some of the other stuff that they're doing is manuka wood smoke. So they're smoking their barleys. So we talked about malting before. It's a pretty fun topic. You know, I could go on for days and days about malts and maltings. But it's done pre-fermentation. When you get your cereal grains, you want to toast them just a little bit. You actually want to sprout them just a little bit and then toast them, because when they start sprouting, they start developing like the baby sugars.
Yeah, they get real fun and funky.
Yeah, and then you toast it so you caramelize those sugars. And some places, like in Scotland, they use peat to burn in the furnaces that malt the cereals, the grains, the sprouts, and cause it to caramelize with that extra smoky maltiness. And
Malty, it's smaltiness.
It's a naughty smaltiness. And in this case, Thomson Distillery is using wood to pre-smoke their stuff as you would like a barbecue smoker.
So before they smoke it with the peat, they smoke it with wood?
No, this one's done with the South Island Peat.
Okay.
They have other whiskeys that are experimenting with smoking them just with hardwood.
Hardwoods instead of peat.
Oh,
I understand. Oh, that'd be very interesting.
And I'm
because effectively they're doing. I mean, that's what you do already. When it comes to the peated whiskeys, right? You're smoking.
Well, I don't know if you're with peated
yes.
whiskeys, yes, but that's a very distinct.
And that's very interesting, though, just to substitute that for
wood, because like
why wouldn't you?
Because peat burns differently. It burns different. It hits different. But wood, it makes sense. But so why wouldn't you just like roast it? And that's the thing because I guess with other whiskeys, they don't want as much smoke in the malt itself. Or maybe it's a slower
I wonder how
process.
many carcinogenic compounds.
Well, it's distilled out. Because like that, it'll eventually just kind of be.
I know
left
I'm
in the
stupid
bottom
sometimes, and I understand a lot of things.
So I guess like the alcohol would bond with.
But that's what right?
No, yeah, you're right.
Because where else? How is the flavor there? Right? You know.
That's true, but that's what makes it good. So it makes it real fucking good.
That's super interesting. Can we taste it?
Yeah, let's give it an old tasty taste.
You want
to go first while I just
drank it all. Gave me so little, but the most of this. Thank you. And
it is the majority of what was left in the bottle, but also there was very little left in that bottle. I like it.
I'm using a mason jar today because I felt like it. And I think that it's cool to drink out of whatever you want to because, I don't know, we're not pretentious assholes. Drink what you want, how you want.
I just like to do it the right way.
Yeah.
Thomson Distillery in Riverhead, northwest of Auckland, was established in 2014 to create whiskies that would embody the character of New Zealand. This peated expression was made with 100% locally grown barley, peat sourced from South Island, and was aged in ex-bourbon barrels. The result is a lively young single malt with notes of iodine, smoke, garden herbs, and sweet vanilla. A great choice for peat lovers who wish to explore different expressions of smoky whiskeys.
It tastes like sausages.
Sausages? Let me get some of that peat.
No, I'm not joking. It's not just smoky. There's like spice. It's almost like there's like sage. It's like it's herbaceous.
It does almost have like a little bit of a fennel-y kind of vibe to it. I'm getting marjoram, perhaps Oh, and there's the peat. I get the peat at the very end, but it's not as sharp as some of the other scotches we've had, or it's not as burnt rubbery. You know how sometimes like Peat Monster that you got.
Oh yes, by Compass.
That one is a very burnt tire, burnt leather. This one isn't as leathery so much as it is just
I'm so interested. I'm like looking out of nowhere.
it's got a nice smoke to it.
It is absolutely super fucking smoky. And you know what it tastes like? The air in the smoker before you like put the meat in.
Yeah. Like you're just kind of prepping it.
It's meaty. It's
does
savory.
It does have a good body to. Now this is a fairly young whiskey as there's no age statement to it.
So like 3 years.
Yeah, that's kind of what they're giving it on the Whiskey Exchange. And what's the other one that I'm looking at? And the whiskeycompany.com. I kind of like, it's got a low key, like if you were to roast butternut
no chill
squashes.
filter either. That's interesting.
What's that? No chill filter?
Yeah.
It won it was a gold medal winner in the San Francisco Spirit Awards
For 2016.
16. That is correct.
Yeah, I can read the bottle.
Is it on the bottle? Oh, it's on the bottle right there.
Yeah.
Oh, did research for that. And
Yeah.
what other additional
This is so
information? you got on it?
Whoa. You know what's very interesting? This is a peaty smoke, but it's like a really heavy peaty smoke and not a very heavy peat flavor, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The smoke is more intense. This is like the smoke of the peat and not the peat. I don't know how to explain it, but
Well,
peat
that's kind of
has
what I meant by it doesn't have as much of that leathery, rubbery flavor. It's
Yes.
mostly just a nice, almost like just a sweeter, more honey oriented mezcal.
I feel like peat is sour.
Sour?
Yes, I feel like when I drink a lot of peaty stuff, it's like very smoky. I get the feeling or taste of tin. There's it has a very distinctive feeling in your mouth. It's very distinct.
Yeah.
What peat does to your mouth.
It is a drying. It's
astringent.
yeah. Oh, that's a great word.
Right? Yeah, go me. It's very astringent, and I think that this has that characteristic, but the flavor is smoke.
It's also aged in ex-bourbon barrels, so that's going to impart a definite vanilla-y, oaky, not too smoky, but like it's going to give it the body that it needs because it already is getting a little bit of bourbon on the back end.
And if everybody's using copper stills, then why was it on the website? If everybody's using them,
no, people aren't using copper stills. Like
it seems
copper pot stills.
Yeah, it seems like it from the things that we're reviewing, the things that we're drinking.
Well, take sample size.
A little
That's
bias,
just kinda
right?
like we got bias.
Yeah.
I like something in a copper still. I think it gives it a variability and a volatility that column stills kind of temper out.
But the best thing about the column still is the consistency.
It is consistent. But we've been trying like some real craft stuff lately. Like
it's the best stuff.
the mezcals,
Ooh.
the other whiskeys, to name a few. I know technically that's a couple, but
I know, right? It's like the ones.
I could count on 3 hands.
all the things.
I'd only need the first one, but I would use all 3 to count them.
This is approachable. One of the characteristics of some of the like higher age single malts from some of the bigger brands that you know, I think the peat smoke, the flavor of the peat is a little too intense. It's cloying. It like kind of dominates your palate. And I feel like you can give this to somebody and it wouldn't do that to them if they drink whiskey. If they don't drink whiskey, like give it to my girlfriend or some shit, she'll feel like, be like,
it's
you know.
definitely a whiskey for a Scotch drinker.
Yes.
It kind of reminds me of Connemara, the peated Irish whiskey. So I think that one's also aged in bourbon barrels. I'm not. Don't quote me on this, but
Also, isn't everything in bourbon barrels?
well, you got all these bourbon barrels. You got to use them.
Right? It just seems because they're new.
They got to be new.
Because they're new when you make it.
If they're ex bourbon barrels, then it's kind of like being a child actor. Either you're just decommissioned as a barrel, or you go on to make other things, and hopefully
you end up getting arrested.
Hopefully.
For doing things that you're bad.
Womp womp. I was gonna say, hopefully you see yourself become young Sheldon.
That's crazy. That's crazy good.
So, all right. How much would you think this bottle would retail for?
Okay, very interesting looking at it. I realized something. It's whiskey. Doesn't say Scotch. Doesn't say Scotch on it.
It doesn't.
I would say $50. A little lower because I think that the flavor is interesting. It's a little light on body.
Say $50?
Yeah, around 50.
Okay.
$50. It says it is an interesting thing, yes, but it says like whiskey. So it has to be somewhere between like $50 and $60. If you were like this is $40, I'd be like, oh, I could see that. If you said it was 65, I'd be like, I could see that. If you said it was 70, I'd be like, 70. I'd be like 70. Yeah, I mean, you know. But also, I don't know. It's peat. It says the word single malt. It's kind of interesting.
It's got the label designations of being.
Put this on the right shelf. Put this on the right shelf.
I think if you just put this in the right person's hands.
89.
Ooh, 89.
But that's like the right shelf, and it like looks nice. But I think it's like $55.
So initially I was looking at this, and on the website, it says 114.
No way.
New Zealand dollars.
Yes! That's just funny money. I'm sorry.
So going from the NZD to the USD, we got 114, and it calculates roughly to 68.50.
And I said, if you said 65, I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, like, throw in a few bucks there. The reason I said 50 to 60 is because I feel like that's the actual cost. There's, like, duties and import.
Duties.
Right? That has to be, like, it, right? For us to get it here, I feel like.
Or if we had about 60 euro. I'm just looking at it.
Why is it more expensive in Europe?
No, it's less expensive.
No, it's not. 60 euro is like $80-something.
No, the euro's been down lately,
No.
dude. The euro's been super sad.
Convert. Come on. I don't know how to use this. I don't use this thing.
The euro's
Convert 60 euro to dollars.
It's so 140.
Okay, that'd be $65.
It'd be $65.
Okay, that's about right.
Dude,
So it's about $60.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
like the euro was up,
so
but now the euro is just having a rough time.
So that $68 cost, this seems like it's a little too high. I feel like if you were like there, you know what I mean? You can get it for the equivalent of like $55 US.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. If I got this as a gift, like a full bottle, and someone was just like, hey, got you a bottle of whiskey. It's a single malt. I'd be like, oh, fuck yeah. That's a good, like, it's a good whiskey. This would be a great, like, Christmas present, like, birthday gift. Like, it's new, it's interesting.
It is. It's fun.
It's fun.
I think the bottle,
It's-
personally, it's like a little nice little. It looks like a wine bottle.
It's an
Just a-
emerging market. I think that's the fun part. Is there's not a lot of New Zealand whiskeys, but they're growing and they're coming up. There's like, I don't want to say like 7 or 8, like really top tier.
Well,
or
let me see
like-
all the ones I can name.
Okay,
That would be none.
Thomson.
Thomson. That would be one.
There you go, and so many more, countless others.
So all my favorites. So Thomson and
The others.
all of their contemporaries.
I think if I had a whiskey bar, I would want to stock this and kind of keep it on the same shelf that I would have like a variety of Indian whiskeys. And like it would be somewhere in like the Indian whiskeys, Japanese whiskeys. Like I would compare it. Ooh, I just thought of something brilliant. You know Centauri's Toki?
Go you. Yes.
So the Toki, this kind of seems like a little bit sweeter and a little bit more palatable version of Toki.
I wouldn't stock this.
At all?
I would stock some of the other varieties with smoked wood because I think that
But people
I
see
had-
the peat and they're like,
yeah, but if I had like a whiskey bar, I'd have other probably more expensive bottles I'd want them to buy of nice single malt scotches. If I was doing like a craft, whiskey bar.
well, yeah, you'd have like your heavy hitting scotches and you'd
Yeah.
keep a pappy
So
in a
instead of
safe.
this, I would do the other ones, like the wood smoke ones. I haven't had them.
Like the Manuka Smoke single malt whiskey,
Yeah, because-
also 114 New Zealand dollars.
100%.
Made with 100% malted barley and smoked using native Manuka wood, distilled through our copper pot stills, with notes of natural smoke, cinnamon, clove, and Manuka oils.
Perhaps I would like to do that.
Or maybe, perhaps their full nose limited edition whiskey, retailing for 165 New Zealand dollars.
Oh,
It's a cast strength Manuka smoked single malt whiskey made from 100% grown Manuka smoked malted barley, aged in American oaks, ex-bourbon barrels, and bottled at cask strength. Yo, this actually sounds pretty fucking good.
that one sounds really
This
good.
is bottled at cask strength. Fuck yeah.
Honestly,
Deeper,
I'm drunk
more
off of this,
abundant
and this
smoke
is
notes.
a whole 46 ABV.
Yo, yeah, okay. Honest, if I were to make a whiskey bar and try to stock that, I would want to get this fucking full noise.
Instead of this, come on.
This is good. This is.
I knew without even seeing
this
the
is a
other
great
ones. I knew
cover. This is a great cover of a Scotch whiskey, but
it is though. It's a cover.
It's a cover. It's like when you kind of hear someone do like a ukulele version of Hey Ya,
Oh,
but like it hits. It's different.
and somebody does a cover of "Let's Get It Started in Here," but it's not the radio version. But they don't change the lyric.
Oh no.
Instead, they just do that thing where they go, "Let's get it in here."
so Kids Bop.
Yeah, like they kids bop the R word.
No, I think it still hits notes that you want it to hit. I think it's still if I were to have it in a bar, if I were to if I were to get it as a gift, if I were to stock it in my bar,
If I were able to speak.
I would still give it to friends to be like, "Hey, I know you might not like Scotch,
Oh, of course. Oh, of course.
but maybe try this one, perhaps."
Now, but here's the thing: you want to talk about scotches. If it's just about scotch, then Monkey Shoulder is cheaper and is definitely more palatable, and people like it, and it's a real easy gateway. Now, if you want to get people, now I think it's really for people who've tried Monkey Shoulder as an example,
Yeah.
but now they want something more adventurous, but they don't want quite the most. They don't want the Ardbeg OA. You know what I mean?
I'm going to wrap this back around. That's why I really like Dewar's. It's kind of like a lower mid-shelf Scotch, but it's It's smoky enough to give you that craving for the peat smoke. It's sweet enough so that it's not just blasting out your palate, and it's also trashy enough to where it's not like you're breaking the bank to just get a little bit of scotchy.
Yes.
It's just like it's a degree above Red Label.
Oh, of course. Oh, 100. I mean, it's like 2 degrees.
But it's still like you don't have to venture into Black Label. I'd say it's comparable to Black Label.
I think it's better than Black. I don't like Black Label.
You don't like Black Label?
No.
I tolerate Black Label. I just don't like the Johnny Walker vibe up until like we get to like double Black Label.
Yeah.
Because once you go double black,
Don't go back.
it's Johnny Walker, not Johnny Backtracker.
You're doers or you don't.
I like that. It's a doer, bud.
It's a doers. It's a doers. Well, damn.
So, final thought. Thomson, keep doing what you're doing. I'd like to see more whiskeys come out of that distillery, and if you can find ways to branch into the New York markets and just American markets in general,
Do it, please.
fucking do it. Try it.
It's so good.
Try it out. And if you can bring down the price point, maybe you'd sell like into a really good niche. Like you'd find your niche.
It's so good. I'm so happy to be able.
I'd say like if it were $45, flying off
Oh,
shelves.
first of all, $45. I'd have 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. $45. I'd
I'd
have 2.
Stock.
It's just like 65 plus. I just feel like it's a little too steep.
Yeah.
And you could spend $10 more and get something else more interesting.
It's true. You could.
Wow. So that was Behind the Bar.
Thank you for joining us. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. And if you have any other fun, interesting whiskey recommendations, we will not do Malort if you recommend it. We might do it if no one recommends it, but I will not do it if someone recommends it.
Don't recommend Malort. Don't you say it. Don't you do it.
Don't you put that on me. I have to do that self-destruction on my own. But any others that seem fun and adventurous and interesting.
Doers?
Doers.
Doers. We should do doers.
We'll do doers and gingers for our beach day.
I love it. So that was Behind the Bar.
I've been
Doers.
Chandler Phillips.
I've been James Beery. Or you don't.